Good afternoon, everyone. Allison Turner here for Batcat Media Group, home of Dream Plan Start Grow. I wanted to jump on here today and talk a little bit about fear and faith. And this isn't religious, but faith in the sense that you know something is right and it's the right choice for you versus for some people, it's more of a religious decision, and that's fine too. It's whatever it is for you, but I'm not going to be talking about the religious side of faith. But I see so many people that go into business for themselves and they're so fearful. And I was one of those people. And it's taken that constant work for me to get out of that. But it takes constant work because you have to know, A, you have to know whatever you're offering is needed. B, you have to know that whatever you're offering, so product or service, has value to your customer. And you have to have faith that the journey you're going, or the path you've chosen is the right path. And sometimes that's difficult because there's a lot of naysayers in the world. We listen to the media all the time. I don't, but there's people that watch the news all the time. And all you hear is fear, fear, fear. I mean, see all the negative stories that go on the media, all of them. It doesn't matter which side, left, right, it doesn't really matter. They're all fearful stories. Very rarely do we see something that talks about, a story of faith and how we live in faith versus living in fear. It's all about fear. We just came out of a pandemic. What was it? It was all about fear. We just came out of, every day there's fear in our world. And so how do you overcome fear and live in faith when you start a company or grow a company or in any part of your life? It doesn't even have to be that you're in business for yourself, because really a lot of these points are similar, because you have to be around those positive people. You have to be around people that are supporting you in your journey, that are interested in seeing you succeed and are going to be positive in your journey, that are going to say, yes, do this. Because if you're around naysayers all the time, or people that bring you down, then you start doubting yourself. So not only are you hearing the voices out here, you're hearing the voices in your head be like, oh, maybe this isn't the right thing. Do I really want to spend the money, or do I really want to offer this? Thanks for liking it. That's the problem. We listen to other people when it's really just a thought. Think about what fear really is. It's a thought that something bad could happen. That's what it is. It's a thought that something bad could happen. We go out. I mean, heck, we could unfortunately get hit by a car today. There's so many things that we could have happen. But if we stayed in that fear, we would never leave our property. We would just stay inside. And there's some people that do that because they're so fearful they can't even leave their house. I'm not one of those people, and I don't think you are if you're watching this video, but there's so many people that do. So number one, you need to identify and acknowledge your fears. They're real, because especially when you're experiencing fears, they're real. They're real to you. They may not be real to me if you said them to me, but they're real to you. So acknowledge that they are there, but realize that they're thoughts. The situation is not happening at that moment. Unless a lion's coming to eat you right now, that's a fearful situation, and hopefully you take off. But unless that's happening, most of these are things that aren't in existence. What if I go into business for myself and I fail? What happens? You fail and you come out on the other side, and you either start another business or you go back to work for someone until you figure out what the next thing is you want to do. That's okay. And then reframe your thinking. So when those thoughts of fear come into your mind, figure out how to reframe the thought. So if I'm making a decision for my company, and it's a big decision, maybe it's investing money in a coaching program or something like that. If I go down that road of like, oh, well, what if I don't have the money to pay for it 1 month? Or what if I don't have this? I need to think a different way and say, you know what? It's good. I'm going to have the money, And this coaching program is really going to excel where I go in my job and how I help and how I can make a greater impact on society and people around me and bring new businesses into the world. So why wouldn't I do the program? So when I think about it that way, I've reframed the entire thing so that once fearful thought is now a completely different thought. It's a positive thought. So reframe your thinking. Build a support system. So I talked a little bit a couple minutes ago about the naysayers around you. I've chosen to really network in positive circles. And I've chosen, masterminds, different things I'm involved in because I want to be around people that are continuing to level up their lives, continuing to excel for more. I was on a Zoom call this morning at 6:30 a.m. And it's a group of us. We used to be in a mastermind together it's been probably a year and a half since it was disbanded. And we've stayed together. So we still meet every Monday at 6:30 a.m. via Zoom. And one of our members leads the group. And so I was on that this morning. That ignites my week. That helps me start off with like fire. So I encourage you to find what that is for you. It doesn't have to be a Zoom at 6:30 in the morning, but find the group that it is for you. Maybe it's listening to something, on Clubhouse, but you need the support system, especially if you're starting a company. If you are starting a brand new company, you need other entrepreneurs that are successful around you. You need people that are going to support you, understand what you're going through, and are going to support you through it. So when you say something in that fearful state, they can help you reframe it. So you need that. Next thing is educate yourself. Knowledge is power. So I've done a lot of reading and around, fear and fear-based thoughts and what it impacts you. And then I've also, read a lot of people that help you overcome fear and help you live your best life and help you move forward, whether it's personally or professionally. So educate yourself. And even with the fearful thought, so say I have a fearful thought and I'm like, oh my God, like, what if this happens? Well, instead of like going down that path, you can reframe it, do that. But maybe it's, oh, what if I finance this and I can't pay it? Call the finance company, have a conversation with them, talk things through, know what you're getting yourself into. The next thing is take action. Because too often when we are fearful, we go into paralysis. And that's not where you want to be. Paralysis is not where you want to be. And I see it all the time. People are waiting for that perfect moment, that moment when no fear exists. Well, when you figure that one out, let me know. So think about how you can continue to take action, even if it's little steps each and every day. Little steps each and every day, that helps. Continue to take action in moving forward. Continue to, set up your goals and move towards them. And if it's money that you need, you're a brand new business, then set up revenue generating goals. At that point, it's not about, let me like go and brand myself somewhere. No, set up like, what's going to get me money? Do I need to network? Do I need to get in front of X amount of people? Do I need to have X amount of one-on-ones? What's going to get me the revenue to get that money? So if you have the fear of not enough money, go after what's going to get you to the money. And then finally, practice gratitude. Because all of us, especially if you're starting a business, we have so much to be grateful for. We're living in a country that allows us to start a business, number one. And there's very little cost to starting a business. Unless you have a huge overhead, like you're a restaurant or you are something that needs a huge office space. But so much of our businesses now can be virtual, where we don't need the overhead of an office space. I may have an office space, but I don't personally need it, but we have it for the video studio. So part of my company needs it. So be grateful. Practice that gratitude. If you start your day with gratitude, your energy levels up. you're in that higher vibration. So there's less, I shouldn't say less chance of fearful thoughts coming in, but you're already up here. So if someone comes up to you and says, oh, well, have you thought about this? And tries to put that fearful thought in your head, you can say, you know what? I don't want to hear it, or walk away. So those are the things I'm suggesting you look at. So number one, identify and acknowledge your fears. Number two, reframe your thinking. Number three, build a support system. Number four, educate yourself. Number five, take action. And number six, practice gratitude. So if you find yourself in that fearful spot, continue to move forward, continue to practice these things. If you need any assistance in starting a business or growing a business, please reach out to me. I do offer a 30-minute complimentary consultation. You can go to dreamplanstartgrow.com. My calendar link is right there. You can sign up for it there. I love helping entrepreneurs kind of achieve what their big vision is. I hope you have a great night. Happy Monday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.